Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas being joined with Jessie Magdaleno. Jesse, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in forever. How are you?
Doing good, man. I'm doing great, actually. Just hanging in there.
Well, we saw you fight yesterday. You got the win, but it wasn't, I guess, the win you wanted. Obviously, no fighter wants to win via DQ, man. Just overall, how'd you feel about yesterday?
I felt great. I did feel like I could have done a lot better. He did take me out of my rhythm. With all the low blows, the dirty tactics he was doing. He caught me with a great right hand right after he hit me with a low blow that kind of shook me up a little bit. But yeah, other than that, I felt great in there. I felt like I was dominating the fight, taking control. And I know he was pressuring a lot, trying to land the big right hand. I put him down, a couple of times. And I just felt like the bigger, stronger fighter in there overall.
How'd you not lose your cool, bro? Because I think with anybody, they get hit in the nuts, they're going to go crazy on the guy. And he hit you in the nuts like 4 times that at least we saw on camera.
Yeah, I counted yesterday. I rewatched the fight. I counted a total of 8. But I'm a fighter, man. I got to deal with what I got to deal with, and I got to keep pushing. At the end of the day, I'm a strong Mexican fighter. I got these cojones like crazy, and I just had to do what I had to do. I had to keep my composure. Yes, I did want to. I want to hit him. I did want to hit him back low. I did want to get my revenge back on him, but I knew if I did that, it would have been blown way out of proportion. So I had to keep my composure, keep my world class in there, and just be a fighter overall.
Did you have a chance to talk to him or tell him anything after the fight?
I try to, in the corner, I reached out to give him, dabs and stuff, but there was no apology from him. There was nothing. I knew what he was doing was very intentional. And that was his tactic. He couldn't catch me. I was taunting him. I was talking mess to him. I was really getting in his head. And I think that's why, he didn't have any remorse towards it, because that's what he had to do to slow me down. And, he seen that it didn't work, so he just had to keep doing it over and over.
What do you think about that, just overall, fighters having to resort to things like that?
I think it sucks for them. It sucks that they have to resort to that. Then if that's the case, then they need a new trainer. They need a new coaching establishment, because no fighter should have to put another fighter through that. I get it if it's accidental by us bending over, or, you're fighting a taller guy, you accidentally hit him low. But, in his way of form, it was just being dirty all around. And that's just the type of fighter he is.
Are you sore?
Very sore. My legs, yeah. my legs and all ways down feels like I ran a marathon. They're very sore. My knees, my thighs, and my balls, man, they're all sore. They're all feeling it.
Were you able to take the piss test after? I would imagine that was kind of hard, no?
Thankfully, we did the piss test before the fight.
Yeah.
Before we did anything, we did the before and after all in one. That way we didn't have to do it afterwards. And I'm thankful we didn't have to do it afterwards, because I was in pretty much bad pain.
Overall, were you happy with how you fought, given how long it's been since you had your last fight?
Yeah, I'm okay with what I fought, how I fought. Can there be more improvements? Definitely. There's never a doubt in my mind. In each and every fight, there's always something I need to improve on. I think this fight, I was just fighting more of a survival, keeping him away, not letting him get dirty with me again, and just trying to keep him at bait. That way I could catch him like I was doing with the jabs, the hooks, the body shots. But, there's always room for improvement. And rewatching the fight last night, yeah, there's a little bit more things I got to work on. And but like I say, there's styles that makes fights, and that guy just had an awkward style, and he just had bad intentions. He just wanted to get me in a bad way, and that was just his tactics.
What'd you make of the criticism by the commentators, by Andre Ward and others, saying that you should have put the guy away and that you should have showed to yourself that you're in a different class, a different level, based on the guy that you were in?
I thought I did that. I thought I did that, you know, because at the end of the day, the guy had to become a dirty fighter to try to get me to slow down because one, he couldn't catch my speed. He couldn't handle the power. Yeah, could have I pressured more a little bit and been able to put him out possibly, but um, being hit in the fourth round, like the way I was hit and got put down, I just prefer to fight more cautious than I did to stand toe to toe with him, because who knows, maybe he would have caught me again, and you know, maybe it would have been in his favor and probably ended my night on a bad note. And I prefer to stay cautious. I was already very up on the scorecards, so yeah, like I said, there's a lot of room for improvements, and you know, he was just an awkward fighter, a dirty fighter, and I was just being cautious with the way he was being.
At any point, did you feel like you couldn't continue, or were you close to saying like, you know what, he's hit me way too many times. Like I just can't. I feel like my energy is like gone.
My energy was great. I was still able to move, you know, and everything, and still be in the fight. But yeah, I just kept looking at Bird. I'm like, man, when are you gonna call it now? You know, he's doing this shit with intentions. He wants to hit me low on purpose. Like there's no accidental thing. Everything that he was doing was intentional. He wanted to do that, and I was just getting frustrated because I just wanted Bird to call the fight already. Like, hey, look, this guy ain't gonna beat me. We all know that. We see it clearly. Let's just move on now. And
Yeah, I know like a lot of people on Twitter were wondering that after the second low blow, and I know it ended up being I believe like four low blows. They were wondering like, "Hey, why isn't he calling the fight already? Like this should already be a DQ. Like this has happened. Like it's looking intentionally."
yeah, because the first one, okay, he hit me, and then he hit me in like right after that, and you could see Bird jumping in, and he still threw it with bad intentions. And then the second one, well, I believe was what, the seventh or eighth round when he hit me low again. Um, he measured it. He put his arm up in front of my face and shot directly low with the right hand, right where, you know, the nuts are. And it's just like right there. I thought, me personally, I thought the fight should have been called right there. You know, I didn't think it should have went on to the 10th round. I thought it should have just been called right there. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's for the fighter's safety.
How was the whole experience of having to fight with like the new protocols? Like, walk me through that. Like, what did you have to do, and how was all that after the fight?
It was very interesting. I'll tell you that. Very interesting. You know, the whole taking protocol, the whole testing, being in the bubble. It was just all around different. You know, we had to be escorted everywhere we went, whether it was to the weigh-in, to the venue for the fight, to get tested. Everything was, you know, was very strict. And I get it. It's supposed to be like that, you know, for the fighter safety. And they did a very good job. MGM did a very good job. The security at MGM did a very good job. What they're supposed to do. And overall, pleased with how they did it.
How many times were you tested, like when you got there up until like the fight?
Tested about, I want to say 3 times. Three
Three
times
times.
that I got tested. They wanted to make sure the day we got there, I got tested. And then after that, I think before the win, we got tested again. And then before the fight, again, we got tested.
And during that whole time, like, do they tell you like, hey, you can't go anywhere, like only the gym and then your room?
I was just in my room because I was already on weight. You know, I already made weight and everything was good to go. And I was just in the bubble in my room, you know, and that's normal for me because in every other fight camp, it's the same. Being in the week of the fight, you know, I'm just in the hotel. I don't leave unless I got to lose weight or hit the gym. But other than that, I'm just strictly in my room and watching TV and, you know, staying focused.
So was it very, very different then, or it wasn't? Like, were you able to interact with people, or like it was just
No, you
no?
can't interact with nobody, can't shake hands, you know, everything had to be distant. Everybody was covered up, you know, gloves, mask, you know, and all everything was taken very seriously because they didn't want nobody to either catch anything or, you know, come out positive.
But you guys were still like in the MGM, right? Like, and I know they opened up like a bit. Like, Did they just escort you everywhere, like you mentioned, like at all times?
At all times we were escorted. At all times we were escorted, and yeah, we were just all on the 12th floor. All the fighters and coaches and staff was just the 12th floor, and that was it. There was nobody was able to hit the 12th floor. Nobody was ever to go in there. We couldn't go down into the casino itself. We just had to strictly be in our rooms and up in that 12 area and the 12th floor area, and that was it.
And after the fight, did they go ahead and like test you guys again? Like, how was that process like?
No, well, after the fight, it was either if you went back up to your room, you had to stay in the bubble. You couldn't go out no more.
Oh.
But me and my coach, what we did, we packed our stuff, went to the fight. After the fight was done, we shot straight home.
A la
You know,
verga.
because
Get out of there.
yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah, I didn't want to be in there no more. We were, you know, we already came out negative. We're already good to go. So it's like, why stay another night?
Was it a stressful experience for you overall?
It was different. You know, it was just different overall. Not having the crowd, not having the cheers, not having just the people there. You know, the whole interaction, the whole vibe was just completely different, and you felt the vibe was different, and it just wasn't the same like what I'm used to. You know, these past years, always hearing the oohs, the ahs, the cheering, the booing, you know. It gets to a fighter. It's completely different. You know, us fighters, we need that because that's what we feed off of. We feed off of that good and bad energy.
Yeah, and your post-fight interview, you mentioned the next possible steps, either a fight with Gary Russell or a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Just curious, to you, what's the most likely fight given like the situation that you're in?
Well, right now I'm number one for the WBC. I think that's more ideal, you know, to make it happen. But from what I hear both guys are moving up in weight, which therefore leaves me a mandatory, you know, for either one of the titles. And you know, it's something I got to talk to with Frank Espinoza in Top Rank. But whatever they give me the green light on, you know, I'm jumping all on it because I think I'm ready to go. Even though this last night the performance wasn't as best as a Jessie Magdaleno could be, but I know when there's an elite fighter in front of me, there's a different animal that comes out of me. So I just think right now the right thing to do is go after Gary Russell.
How do you think you would match with Gary Russell? We've seen him that he's not very active. On average, the last few years he's fought maybe once a year, but the talent's there. It's undeniable. The guy is an extremely talented fighter. How do you see yourself with him?
Oh, of course, he's a tremendous fighter. You know, he's an ex-Olympian. He's a world champion for a reason. You know, he set his mark in boxing for sure. You know, I tip my hat off to him. I take nothing away from him. But like I said, you know, I'm a younger fighter. I'm a little bit more active than he is, and I think I have. Well, not that I think, I know I have what it takes to beat a fighter like him. You know, I stepped in there with one of the baddest dudes at 122 pounds, which was Nonito Donaire, and I took it to him. And why can't I do it with him? You know, I have the talent as well. I have the speed, the power. I have the great mindset as well as he does. And like I said, styles make fights, and I think it'll be a tremendous fight to have with him.
With him being with PBC, have a huge obstacle in front of you to make the fight happen?
You know how it is. It's always, there's always something, you know, they're either protecting the fighter or they just don't want to make the matchup happen. But I think it's time that all promotional companies unite, get together, and talk business. You know, at the end of the day, this is a business sport, and this is what it's about, you know, making the best fights possible. And if not, then I guess cough up the title and let somebody else become champion and be a world champion after working so hard.
Why do you think people have so much trouble with Gary? We saw Jojo Diaz have some success early on. King Tug was just never really able to get anything going with him. What do you think Gary does that really sets him apart from everybody?
I think it's his hand speed. His hand speed really, you know, surprises everybody. And then he makes the fight his fight. And I think a lot of fighters don't know how to transition into making the fight their fight. And they don't know how to make him come to you. You know, you're always going to him and trying to make him fight. But I think with my style, my movement, I'm more of a boxer puncher. I could also be a brawler at times, but I think my style fits perfect with him. We're both very strong lefties. We're both fast lefties, and I think me and him would just hit it off great.
Have they told you like how soon you could get another fight in, based on the fight that happened yesterday with the medical suspensions and all that?
I mean, with the suspension, I'm suspended right now for a little bit, but I'm trying to get back in September. I want to be back in the ring by September. I want to stay active. I don't want to waste any time. So if the world title is next, or maybe the beginning of next year, I'm ready for whatever comes at me. But I would love to have the world title fight next.
All right, I got to get a last question in. Your PR people are telling me you got a live radio hit. Just overall, Jesse, it's like I mentioned, it's been a while since I caught up with you. How are you doing, bro? How's this whole time been for you?
It's been good. I've been keeping busy. I have a very active son who just, loves to be active. We've been going on bike rides. We've been, running. I've been working out at my house, just staying busy, trying to stay away from the media and all this, up and down news. So that's what I've been doing. But overall, I've been great. I've been making sure my family's good. My mom and dad are good. My brothers, my sisters, even my friends, because at the end of the day, those are the people I care about the most. And yeah, overall, everything's been going great. I've been keeping myself very busy in these tough times.
Well, that's good, man. You think everybody just has to stay positive and stay productive. And like you mentioned, I think a big key is to stay busy, because you stay busy, a lot of those negative thoughts don't get in your mind because you're being busy and proactive.
Yeah.
Jesse, I know you got a live radio hit right now. I'd love to talk to you more, bro. I'll text you. But hey, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we see that fight with Gary Russell come in September or later on in the year.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time and everything. And hope you're well, hope you're safe. And I'll see you soon, man.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it.
See you soon.
Yo, you, yes, you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.